So, you want to get smarter. The world will tell you it takes 12 years of school, 4 years of college, maybe 6 more years of grad school. But what you actually get is student debt, stress, and the ability to write a flawless post on Reddit about how you're still unemployed. The joke? That's not even a joke. But here's the truth. Getting smart is actually way easier than you think. What being smart really means. When people like you and me say, I want to be smarter, we don't mean building a rocket in our garage or reciting Shakespeare. We usually mean things like learning real skills that actually make money, solving problems without crying first, getting decent grades in brutal exams, having enough random knowledge to flex in conversations, but not so much that people roll their eyes and call us nerds. The problem with generic advice. Now, if you go online, the advice is either vague philosophy like expand your horizons, whatever that means, or it's the same recycled brain hacks. Eat blueberries, they're brain food. Drink black coffee. Listen to Mozart. Take an IQ test to confirm you're dumb. Sleep 8 hours, but also wake up at 4 a.m. These things sound good, but at some point, you need to actually learn something useful. What actually works? So, what actually makes you smarter? The answer is simple and kind of boring. Reading. Before you click away, wait. Let me explain. Fiction versus nonfiction. Fiction is underrated. It makes you read faster, gives you a bigger vocabulary, and if you read a lot of dialogue, it almost feels like you have friends. Almost. Nonfiction, though, that's the real game changer. It gives you the kind of random knowledge you can drop casually in conversation. Suddenly you sound like a genius without even trying. Example, conversation. Someone says, crazy how humans evolved from chimpanzees, right? Option A, wrong. Well, actually, evolution is nonlinear. Congratulations, you sound like an arrogant jerk. Option B, better. Yeah, it is crazy. I read the other day that humans and chimps actually evolved side by side. Boom, you sound smart, humble, and like you occasionally touch grass. The key is to share knowledge without making people feel dumb. Where to get books? So how do you find books? Easy. Google best books on topic. Sure, they cost money, but if your finger accidentally slips and you end up on a shady website, accidentally typing in the title, and accidentally downloading a free copy, well, accidents happen. The real hack. Use what you learn. Here's the catch. Reading alone won't make you smart. If you don't use the information, your brain marks it as spam and deletes it. The fix. Practice. Read about cleaning a room. Actually clean one. Yes, even your disgusting desk counts. Read about cars, watch a video, then imagine yourself fixing one. Even pretending helps. Your brain thinks it used the knowledge and stores it for later. Why imagination works. Let's say you read about jump-starting a dead car. You don't have 2 cars lying around to practice, right? No problem. Just imagine the situation step by step. Visualize it like it's your car. Now your brain believes you used the information. Meanwhile, someone who just looked at the diagram will freeze the first time their battery dies. How schools trick your brain. This imagination practice is literally how school works. Teachers know you won't use half the stuff you learned for 15 years, so they create fake useful situations, called exams. But once the exam ends, your brain goes, cool, not useful anymore, and deletes it. That's why you can't remember the quadratic formula, but still know every lyric of a 10-year-old TikTok song. The real way to remember forget fancy techniques like mind maps and study intervals, the #1 way to retain information is practice questions. No practice questions? Make your own. Pretend you're hanging off a cliff and someone will only pull you up if you can name all the parts of a human cell. Congrats, you just learned under pressure. The 80-20 rule. Here's another hack. You only need 20% of knowledge to master 80% of a skill. That's why beginners improve fast at first. The learning curve rewards small practice. But if you never practice, you'll never pass even level 1. You didn't learn to tie a tie by watching a tutorial? You learned by watching while actually choking yourself with fabric. That's how learning works. Why textbooks are S tier. This is why textbooks, although boring, are secretly S tier for becoming smart. They cut all the fluff and dump raw knowledge plus practice on you. Yes, they're not fun, but if you can get through them, you'll learn faster than 100 hours of YouTube binges. Final thoughts. So to get smarter, read fiction for speed, nonfiction for flexing. Use or imagine using what you read. Practice questions beat memorization every time. Textbooks are the cheat code if you can survive the boredom. It's not about IQ. It's about tricking your brain into thinking the info is useful. And if you found this video useful, go ahead and accidentally click the subscribe button. Because apparently my next big brain idea is funded entirely by your likes and subs.